Okay. Well, let's move right along and let's get to some of the news of the day. First things first, um, something that didn't need to be made, but is going to be made. I'm talking about Kindergarten Cop 2. Can you guys believe that this is going to be
Oh,
made? I mean,
no,
what is this crap?
well, you
That's
know,
what
people who have money want more money, and apparently, because 20 some odd years ago, Kindergarten Cop made a lot of money, they think they can have lightning strike twice. I mean, Disney did it with almost every animated film that they've ever done, come out with a sequel just because money. So I can only assume that they're trying to do that again.
listen, Darth
Seriously,
Munson has
it's
no
ridiculous.
personality. He has no personality. I can't picture him kids like I picture him as killing Jean-Claude Van Damme and Universal Soldier and being the Punisher. Like I just can't see him with kids. And he got that weird accent too. It's like he got that cold killer look about him. It's like he's
It's
like a
gonna be
child killer.
it's gonna be interesting to see Frankenstein play kindergartner teacher.
Frankenstein,
It's
huh?
basically like it's like Monster Squad all over again.
I think the real problem with it is, I mean, yes, it's very, very far removed, but Arnold's got a certain charisma, like a natural charisma. I mean, even though he's got the, Arnold has the bad accent, not bad, but he has an accent too. But Arnold had that charisma, and he was able to carry the role. So I don't know if Dolph, smart as he is, I don't think Dolph's going to be able to bring that same charisma.
It blows me away how Arnold still has the fucking accent.
Yeah, you can't get rid of that
They're going to
accent.
lose it.
Can't
I
get rid
mean,
of
it's
that
part of
accent.
his personality. I mean, part of his gimmick, part of his spiel. Just
Mhm.
never wanted to get rid of it.
Mhm.
Well, we also got some news about, and talking about Deadpool for the third day in a row. I mean, not like Deadpool is a terrible thing to really even talk about, but there's been a lot of rumors. If you haven't heard by now, Cable's going to be in the sequel of Deadpool. It'll probably even be renamed Cable and Deadpool. That's probably what the name of the movie will end up being. However, what they're supposedly talking about doing is having Kevin Nash possibly rumored to be playing Cable. Now, Kevin Nash has the height, doesn't necessarily have the acting chops, and we all know what GQ has famously said about whether they can act or whether they can look the part, the preference. So, what do you say about it, GQ?
Honestly, this is one of those rare situations where the guy's got the look. I just personally don't think he can do the role. It's just because I think with Cable is like you need somebody in there that can physically get in there, mix it up, do whatever they're gonna have him do. Kevin Nash has always been a big, slow guy, and like wrestling, as we all know, kills people's knees. Like Undertaker's another example. So I don't think Kevin Nash physically is going to be able to get in there and play that role the way it needs to be played. He did great in the Thomas Jane Punisher as the Russian, but again, very basic, very simple role. So I mean, I personally, like I said, I've always said it. Stephen Lang from Avatar is Cable to me. That's
Even
how I've
though
always
he's
looked
short,
at it. He's a little bit shorter, obviously, but
I
he's
mean, he's
got the
shorter than
look.
Ryan Reynolds. Do you think that'll be a problem?
No, come on now. We've seen Jack Nicholson was shorter than sorry, Michael Keaton was shorter than Jack Nicholson when he played in Batman. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of times where it's going to work out, and it's not really going to be one of those situations where you got to worry about, oh well, this person's too short for this, or this person's too isn't going to fit. So I think it'll work out. Kevin Nash, just in my opinion, just isn't the best person for that role.
Yeah, that's what I said when we first when that picture first surfaced. I was like, yeah, Kevin Nash would be perfect. I said, but if it comes down to him running around and tumbling on the ground, I said the boy's knees is shot. I was like, he ain't gonna be able to do none of that. Stephen Lang, Stephen Lang is perfect too. And only thing is that when I think of Cable, man, every time I picture Cable, Cable's just huge, imposing dude. And Stephen Lang, he was perfect. It's just he not. I don't know. He doesn't have that thickness and that that brolic look to him. But
I
I mean,
think that's,
he's muscular and all
I
that.
think it's one of those situations though where like, didn't was it Liefeld that drew a lot of cable exports back in the day?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cable. LIFO
yeah.
created Cable. I
Well,
think if
there
I
it is.
remember.
Then that's you got those proportions that are going to just be insanely hard to bring to the screen.
True.
You know, it's like if you look back at like okay, from the imposing standpoint, look back at Stephen Lang's performance in Avatar. He was that guy. Like as far as the dude running the military, he was that guy. I mean, it's like he was intimidating. He
Poetic
was a
Fire
Well,
oh 08,
here's,
welcome to the chat. We're glad to have you.
oh.
uh, here's the thing about that. What if like they put a bunch of pockets on him? Maybe he'd be bigger.
Yeah, Cable does have a lot of pockets, man. He's carrying a lot of rations and whatnot. So.
Did Lang in
Right. So
Avatar? Did Lang have a scar on his eye? I don't know
Mhm.
why I keep picturing that. Yeah, I think
I
he
think
did.
he did.
He had like scars over his head, basically.
Yeah, I think he
Like some,
did.
like clawed his head or something like that.
Okay. Well, so everybody thinks that Nash will be, good, not so much as a good fit of Cables, or would he be okay? Is anybody in his corner saying Nash will
Well,
be okay?
see, the thing is, wrestling is acting. Regardless, anybody would say. I mean, the physical part is real. The rest of it is acting. And though Kevin Nash may not be a tried and true movie star like The Rock, I mean, nobody's
Hmm.
going to be like that guy. That guy's a big time exception.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he can hold a gun, shoot some things, and spot off a couple of one-liners, because that's more than likely what's going to be. I mean, will they make Cable an extremely deep character? I have no idea, because like I said, I didn't read the comic books. I don't know how Cable is in the comics. I watched the television show in the 90s of X-Men, and Cable was on a couple of episodes, and he was kind of cool in there, but he didn't say much.
Empire
So,
1986, aka Mike Riley. Welcome to the chat, sir. Good to see you.
hello
yeah,
there.
but Cable got busy though. Cable, he shot up stuff, ran, moved. So I don't know if Kevin Nash can do that with those knees.
Well, it might not even be so much the knees, man. It's like realistically, he just has to be able to talk to his computer from the future and track down Bishop's oil residues and whatnot, man. As long as he can do that,
Follow the drip, follow the drip, follow the drip.
right? Pretty much. If he could do that, then I think then we got a good thing. The Wild Man of Borneo,
Or
make it sound like
or he can kidnap Wolverine and throw a cup of water to like a big bucket onto him.
yeah. As long as he has like the endless Dixie cup of water, then the cable's good to go, no matter who plays him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think whatever happens, they'll pick the right person, and it will be pretty good, as long as those executives stay out of it.
There it is. As long as those
That's all you
executives
want,
stay
right
out of the
now.
way, we'll be okay.
Yeah, let Ryan Reynolds do all that stuff. Hey, let him pick who's gonna play everybody.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So moving on, we also got to talk about the rumor that's out there about who's going to be playing Star-Lord's father in Guardian of the Galaxy 2. Now, it's long been rumored that Kurt Russell is going to be playing Star-Lord's father, and Big Kahuna says it's
I think. Oh, it's Kurt Russell.
it is Kurt Russell. It's been confirmed. What did you hear about it? What did you see?
We know. Yes, the long time rumor was that Kurt Russell was in the run to play Star Lord's father, Jason. And so
Uh-huh.
today it was official. It came out officially that he is signed. They didn't really confirm that that's who he's playing, but I get the feeling that's who he's playing. I mean, he looks. When you look at the comic, when you look at Jason in the comic, and you look at Kurt Russell, he kind of fits that role. So I think that's who he signed on to play, and I think it's going to be a pretty good role.
Now, GQ, you're a big fan of Kurt Russell, and so are you, Datakuji. What do you guys think about Kurt Russell being Star-Lord's father going into this sequel?
I'm excited
Why?
because I like Kurt Russell. Everything I see Kurt Russell in, I mean, come on, tell me a bad Kurt Russell movie. He is a great actor, and he
Solo?
Oh, wait now.
what do you say? What do you say?
He said Solo, and that's a great example of a movie where it wasn't necessarily Kurt Russell's
Okay,
fault,
I
but it
didn't
still
see
was a
that.
bad movie. You know,
I didn't see that
still was
movie,
a
but
bad
I
movie.
know what you're talking about. So there was obviously a
Wait,
reason why I
what
didn't see
movie?
that movie.
First of
Solo.
all,
Solo, I think it's
that's not
called.
the name of the movie. Solo was a Mario Van Peebles movie.
Yeah, that was Mario Van
Yeah,
Peebles.
that was saying
I
that
think
was
I know
Mario
what
Van
you're talking
Peebles.
about. Where
Soldier.
he,
What was the other movie then?
Soldier.
yeah, Soldier. Never saw that
Yeah, I
movie.
was gonna say, yeah, I was like Mario Van Peebles was Solo.
But he was great in
Okay,
Captain
I got it.
Ron. Could you imagine if he's like a Captain Ron like character in space?
It could be
Hey,
interesting.
Well, Captain Ron was a great movie. I'll
I
admit
love
that.
that movie.
I'm gonna mute and excuse myself for just a moment.
Man, he had. I mean, you got Jack Burton.
Yep.
I love Kurt Russell in Overboard
oh yeah, that was a
with
movie.
Goldie Hawn. That was hilarious. And what
Hey,
was
as
he?
long
He
as
was
Kurt
Snape.
Russell- That's true. Look at him. Um,
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
hey, if Kurt Russell has that beard he had in X8, it'll be a great movie.
You leave Jack Burton alone.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
definitely.
just seeing him as you know, I enjoy almost everything he's in that I can remember. I mean, seriously, Snake Plissken, that guy was awesome, inspired tons of stuff. Now, we don't know what kind of character this Jason is supposed to be, but like, could you? I mean, just throw out anything that he's done, and I'm pretty sure an amalgamation of one of those might come out because I don't know.
His role in wasn't he in the last Fast and Furious?
Yes, he was.
Yes,
yeah.
he
Oh
was.
yeah, he was, right?
Yeah,
Soldier.
yeah. He was. His little role was good in that. Soldier.
Soldier. That was the.
Okay, yeah.
No, but okay. Here's my take on Kurt Russell and Soldier, real quick. I liked his character in that because it was like he was playing the perfect soldier. So a soldier doesn't have to say much. You're just there to shoot and kill. That's all, and that's what I liked about the movie. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it wasn't a good movie." It was like, well, he wasn't supposed to say nothing. Kurt Russell is one of those really great character actors that plays and fits into whatever role they put him in. He was great in Death Proof. I mean, like
Yeah.
that Stuntman Mike was.
Oh my God, Stuntman Mike.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And
Jack
Mike.
Burton, classic. I mean, like every time Kurt Russell gets a role, he makes it his own and it works. It's not like you looking at Kurt like it's not the Will Smith thing. Yes, you know you're looking at Kurt Russell, but he still plays those characters so well that it's just like, it's not so much as Kurt
Let's go
Russell.
save the world.
Tadakuchi said he's a great actor.
Yep. He is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm-
When did
I'm
Soldier
excited.
come out?
When is what?
When did Soldier come out? What is that?
Let me see here. Copyright is survey said. That can't be right. 1998.
1998.
Yep,
Yeah.
that movie's old.
But he always gets better with time. I guess we
It's
can
like
always
a
say that.
fine wine.
Yeah.
He always gets better with time, and so and seeing him in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, playing off of what's the character's Chris Pratt. Him playing off
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, who's developed into one of my favorite actors of modern times. That should be a fun treat. That really should be a fun treat. I guess it really kind of depends on what Kurt Russell does in the movie. I mean, he could end up doing a lot. He could end up doing very little. He could be kind of buttoned up and not really be the Kurt Russell we really think he could be. But I guess we'll just really have to wait and see.
I don't see this. I don't see Disney / Marvel making that mistake though. I think they're gonna like put him in there and let him do what he does. Because even like Benicio del Toro as the Collector, as limited as that role kind of was, he still like owned like his time on the screen. So I think like Kurt Russell, like however much the character's gonna be in there, I think he's gonna really shine. And it's gonna be really really well done.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what his character's gonna be like. Cause remember at the end when what did Yondu say about him when they were taking off? He was like, that guy's a real jerk or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, we already know Kurt Russell can go there. So,
Indeed.
it'll
I
be
really
neat.
want to watch Death Proof now.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta see that.
Especially when they caught up to him and they crashed his car, he just yelled out, "Why?"
Go back and watch the Tarantino episode of Game. We were talking all about that.
So real quick, let's move on to some other news. In the news today, we also had some big movie news happen as far as movie business. Fandango who isn't, necessarily a very small operation already, got even bigger because they bought Rotten Tomatoes, the movie aggregate score site, and they also bought Flickster. Now, uh, that's a pretty big conglomerate that they put together as far as like the movie business goes. What do you guys say about that?
Well, I've been using Fandango as of late to buy my tickets because I'm tired of standing in line. I'm tired of doing all that stuff, having it in advance, and having these cell phones like you do. You just show it to the ticket terror person, and they just give you a ticket, whatever. So Flickster was something that I used before. I never bought tickets through them, but I always used it for show times, and I don't care about reviews, so Rotten Tomatoes, I don't really care. But to have it all in one, I think is good, even though it didn't even matter to me anymore because all I use is Fandango now.
Yeah, but Rotten Tomatoes is a pretty popular site. Everybody goes there. I mean, it's gonna. I mean, I think they're all owned by AMC. So, GQ, what do you think about as far as the business side, AMC kind of increasing this monopoly they seem to have? What do you think it's going to do to like theaters like the MJR and Imagine Theaters, at least locally?
Well, before I get into that, I'm kind of mad that I didn't have the Fandango music going behind when I was Fandangoing. But
I was doing that. I just didn't want to interrupt Datakuchi.
right, big hundred dollars talking about. But no, it's the business side of it is obviously mergers usually help in one form or another. Merging with Rotten Tomatoes is cool because a lot of Rotten Tomatoes has kind of become that new Siskel and Ebert, so to speak, for pop culture nowadays. A lot of people, talk about the fresh ratings and that sort of thing. So I think that's going to help. I personally don't really use Fandango. It's like usually I just go to the theater, get the ticket, and I'm kind of done. And that's usually how it goes. The Flickster, I really don't use Flickster. So I mean, yes,
I
it's
use
good for them to
Flickster.
build their brand, but
I mean, I usually flick to check my the movie times, but actually when we saw Deadpool, I bought the tickets off of Flixster.
oh, okay. So I guess I'm just the
Yeah, it was-
old-fashioned one with that.
You are old-fashioned.
I used
Well,
I used
well, it was
Fandango a couple times, but it's like Fandango got that damn $3 fee. I know if you get the AMC, the little club card, they waive it, but
Guys, Xenogen Zero over on Twitch, thanks for visiting, by the way. He says, a monopoly is never a good thing. Do you think this is going to kill the competition between, there's other ticket sites like movietickets.com. This might really hurt the competition and maybe even drive up prices. What do you guys think?
I don't really think so, to tell you the truth, because if you do have movietickets.com, people who use movietickets.com are going to use movietickets.com. I mean,
Right.
I used Fandango mainly because, in this case, advertising worked. I've seen both movietickets.com and I've seen, Fandango, but Fandango stuck out kind of because of the wrestler as well, because Fandango, when you hear about that stuff, it sticks in your head. So the advertising worked in that aspect. Yeah. Fandango.
go.
But
I understand and we appreciate the feedback, but the monopoly is definitely not a good thing. Competition is always a good thing, but this is something that you can't really have a monopoly in. Piggybacking off of what Datakuchi said, there's always going to be movietickets.com. There's always going to be Fandango. There's always going to be go to the theater and buy your ticket. So I mean, none of that is going to disappear anytime soon. If it ever becomes that Fandango is the only way you can get movie tickets, you literally can't even get them at the box office, then we got a problem. So this is a situation where monopoly can't really happen because there's still always going to be another avenue to get your tickets.
But I mean,
See, what I do
kinda
with
working-
Fandango is, go ahead.
But say it kind of worked though, because you're gonna get your tickets regardless of where you go get them at. If you know it's gonna be an opening night and a packed show, if you get your tickets online, you guaranteed you have your tickets.
Well, yeah,
So it's not a bad idea.
yeah.
See, what I use Fandango for is because I don't like that extra $3 something change fee.
Me either.
I usually use Fandango just to look up times at different theaters. But what I usually do now is I actually go to the theater website and purchase it because their fee is like only like $1 or $1.25.
yeah, but if you go to AMC and you got the Stubbs card, you just put in your number. You don't pay it either way.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
And this is what I like about the Stubbs card. No, actually, I take that back. This is what I wish they would add to the Stubbs card. And this would actually make me buy a Stubbs card. Is if they turned it into a situation where you always had matinee prices. Then I'd pay for the Stubbs membership, but they'll never do that.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe not.
Oh, so what do you guys think about the whole? It was saying the Fandango, if you buy your ticket, you would get the digital download later on when it comes
Well,
Oh
out.
yeah, they had that. It's called the super tickets, I think.
yeah, but how
Yeah.
much are you paying for that?
I
They,
mean,
they,
they didn't specify. It's just still in the process right now, still a work in process.
So in other words, $20 or more, probably.
and to piggyback off of that is like with Flickster, I used to actually use. I never really used it, but when you used to get by the when I used to buy a lot of Blu-rays and you get the little free digital download, a lot of it used to be through Flickster. So when you redeem your code, it would be through Flickster and it holds your. I think I have like 3 or 4 movies on there, but I
I
don't really
probably
watch it.
have even more than that because you guys know my movie collection is ridiculous. But the problem I have with that is when I originally started getting into digital copies, it was usually an extra disc that came in. You threw it in your computer, and you picked whether or not you wanted it through iTunes or if you wanted it through Android. And obviously I have more Apple products up, used through iTunes. But the copy was always on my computer, so if I ever wanted to go back and load it up, just load it right there off my computer and let's go. Now they're trying to turn everything into streaming. The file sizes are increased and more ridiculous. And like I picked up Spectre. Let me see, who was that again? MGM sent a check. So I picked up Spectre today. I had a very busy day after I got off my trip. And I picked up Spectre, and I'm shocked at how fast this movie came out. So even if they're talking about doing the whole digital package where you're getting the super ticket and all that, it's like I don't really need to because that movie came out mid-November. Here we are mid-February, and it's already on Blu-ray. So it's not really a big special thing for me to get it on digital or maybe a week or two earlier.
You know what I noticed about? I noticed that that's been a trend lately when certain movies don't do as good as they thought it was going to do in the box office, they hurry up and get it out onto Blu-ray just to, capitalize on the whatever on the movie while it's still fresh in everybody's mind.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. But I think they're pressing those Blu-ray and DVDs when the movie's released. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they're
in the
basically-
warehouse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Months.
because when you go on when you look at sales ads now, like about a couple weeks after Star Wars came out, Best Buy already had pre-order for Star Wars.
Oh no, we had that way before that.
Was it before that also?
It was like we already had the whole setup. We had it already set up for the pre-downloads with the soundtrack and everything.
Hold on, Mike hasn't said a word since the
They
beginning.
even, I think they pushed up Star Wars, and Star Wars is going to come out, I think, like in April on
Oh
Blu-ray.
wow,
Yeah.
damn. Okay.
I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. I can't wait to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm rewatch all my Kylo Ren moments.
Even though I'm still a Deadpool.
I'm throwing a damn
That
fit.
day one.
Oh, Deadpool is definitely a day one buy. They better.
I think I'm going to replay. I'm going to replay Kylo losing his shit so many times.
Oh yeah, I think what they need
Just
to
make
do
an 8-hour loop on YouTube.
Yeah,
Right.
I think what they need to do with the Deadpool Blu-ray is very similar to what they did with Fight Club Blu-ray, where you put the disc in and it was acting like it was a whole different movie, almost like you got the wrong disc or something. I think it'd be really
that'll be
interesting.
funny.
Yeah, I think it'd
Yeah.
be really interesting if they do something.
That'd
with
be
it.
funny.
And make it also, since a lot of people have their PlayStations as their Blu-ray players, so that's already connected to the internet. They should do some type of special themed menus, like if you put it in on Valentine's Day or something, it's a different menu. They could do it. Why not? I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Well-
they should definitely continue that whole Deadpool theme.
Heck yeah. And give me a free theme for my PlayStation 3 when I get it.
Well, let's move it along a little bit. Finally, let's mention a little bit about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. return trailer that they talked about. We saw some glimpses of Zombie Ward, I guess you could say, and we also saw that Coulson is going to kind of bring S.H.I.E.L.D. out to the light because now the President of the United States is going to know that S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually still existing and operating in secrecy. How do you guys think, Philip, how do you think this is going to affect the season moving forward?
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's definitely gonna open the doors for the Inhumans movie. and it's gonna show more abilities of the Inhumans. You're gonna see different power sets coming up because that trailer was awesome. I'm like, okay, they really stepping it up now with this one. I like
Hmm.
that.
with Abomination Ward.
Right. Which no, he's a if you read the Secret Wars book, the comic, he's one of the characters in there. He's
He's gonna
like
be
I guess he's
Gorgon, isn't he?
possessed. I think
I
no no
think
no
he's
no
gonna
no.
be the
It's like
Gorgon.
it's like a hierarchy Hydra. It's like it's weird. It's like if you read those
I
books,
thought that was the
it's,
Gorgon. That was the
that was
one that
supposed to him.
was. I think it might be him. Don't quote me on that. It might not be him.
It might have
But
been, but he's possessed by some this old ancient Hydra
right.
demon or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could have
Um.
swore that was the Gorgon, but maybe I could be wrong. We'll try and find out who that really is and bring that up on a later stream. But one of the things that I wanted to kind of touch on too was that they're also going to be increasing the number of Inhumans that are going to be on the show. Like Slingshot is going to be on there,
Mhm.
and a couple of others, and they're really going to start building Daisy's team of secret warriors to really kind of take the fight to Hydra. It looks like you said, it's going to kick it up to a kind of a bigger notch. What do you say?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I was reading some comments. They said that the president in there is the same president from was it Iron Man 3?
Yeah, the movies. Yeah, look like
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
look
so
like him.
that's cool. They got a
Yeah,
little
it's
nod
nice
to
that they're
that.
keeping the continuity together. That is pretty sweet.
I
And
think
I really hope they have Jonathan Hickman, who wrote the Secret Warriors books, have some kind of
As a
say so
consultant.
because that's a consultant because he wrote their whole story arc.
Yeah, it definitely would be
So.
great if they kept him in the loop
Hmm.
with the story, seeing as how he was very integral. I mean, Hickman over the last 5-6 years has been integral to building this humongous story arc that the Avengers are on in the books. That just saw its end with the end of Secret Wars. So yeah, I think he's got enough free time. I think he'll be able to do it. After kind of reshaping the Marvel comic book universe like he did. So, has anybody else really been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this year? And if so, what do you think about it?
I've been keeping up with Shield as much as I can. I missed it, obviously, being gone. But I think with seeing this trailer, I think we're going to see that Marvel TV is going to realize that, like, look, DC TV's kind of backed them into a corner with the success of Flash and how Supergirl is coming up, and Legends of Tomorrow. So it's kind of like, look, we got to kind of take the reins off of this whole powers thing, because it's like we're still Disney, we have money, so let's start bringing more characters in. Let's start bringing the action back, because with this being and Agent Carter, of course, being the secondary of the spinoff, with this really basically being their bread and butter TV show, they have to step it up because they don't have a litany of other shows to lean on, like Flash does, Arrow, and all the other DC shows. So I'm glad to see that they're going to start bringing these humans in, and like you said, do the Secret Warriors path, because that's going to bring their cinematic universe. It's just going to expand it even that much more. So I like.
Let me ask you this: was that real talk they was having? The guy that plays Smallville, they was gonna have him in the Supergirl.
Tom Welling.
Yeah, because I've read something, but I wasn't sure that's gonna be a true thing or.
That's been a very popular rumor. Whether it's really true or not, whether it really comes to pass, we still don't know. I mean, I know Tom Welling kind of talked about it, I think last month, and said that he would be open to it. But as far as if it's going to happen, I heard Superman is supposed to be coming to actually being able to see him before this season is over, but there's been no news on who it actually is, who's been cast as Superman. So we kind of just gotta wait and see. But
We
bringing
saw
it back
little,
to
little Kal-El.
what were you saying?
I said we got to see little Kal-El.
Yeah, we got to see
Well,
little
you
Kal-El,
got-
and that doesn't really
you-
count.
you
Who cares
got a
about that?
glimpse of him from the pilot, and then that one episode where he saved her. So I mean, they obviously want to use the character. It's finally graduated from all the stuff we were talking about when the pilot first came out about not really wanting to mention Superman by name and all that. So they finally did that. But I think Tom Welling would be a great choice because he did a great job with that character under the constraints of not being able to really be Superman on a Superman show. So I mean, I think it'd be cool to let him get in and actually put the costume on and do it big. Why not?
So, shoot, I was about to say something about Agents of Shield moving forward. Where do you guys see this show going from here? I mean because there's only so long that Shield I think can operate as a kind of a clandestine operation, kind of behind the scenes, and I know this Inhumans thing is kind of going to help bring them back to the forefront. If you have some speculation on moving forward, what do you guys? Where would you like to see Shield go from here on out? Would you kind of like to see it back to the way it was before the whole Hydra fallout?
Please no.
No.
No. I mean,
No,
Agents
I
of
don't
Shield.
think so.
They were setting that up. The whole Hydra Fallout thing is when Agents of Shield really got exciting because I assumed that they were going to incorporate a lot of different stuff within Agents of Shield, and apparently they didn't start doing it. And they had the Hydra Fallout, and they had Winter Soldier, which was fantastic. I loved it, but I don't want them to go that way. I mean, if they can't have mutants and they have to have the Inhumans, I want them to do the Inhumans. I want them to flesh that out. I want them to have that kind of story. I don't want them to go back to how it was. I mean, that would slow it down for me. I don't want them to slow it down.
I
Yeah,
agree.
they can't go from having Inhumans and all these other people with powers to go back to just regular first, second season or whatever like that. That would be boring. And like Dr. Kuji said, it didn't get exciting till the Hydra Fallout.
Absolutely. I think they also just waiting until like when the movies come out too. So that's why the build up is kind of slow. So when Civil War come out, I think it's gonna be some exciting stuff coming. And then when the actual Inhumans movie come out, if it hopefully it doesn't get canceled within whenever Inhumans come out, but I think there's gonna be a big crossover like ridiculous. So you may see some Agents of Shield characters in the Inhumans movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta get my weekly dose of Agent May.
Oh, Agent May. I mean, really, man. How can a woman look that good and be as old as she is, dude? Because that is just, she is super sexy. It's like she's like one of the main reasons I tune in every
You know what's
single week.
amazing? You know what's amazing?
How old is she?
I follow her on Instagram, and just to see
Hold on,
how
Mike,
her
I'll find out
character
for you.
is, where she never
Okay.
smiles at all. She always has the resting bitch face. But to see her on her Instagram, where there's like never a picture that she's not smiling. And they look like two completely different people.
Well, without a doubt. But Sofia Vergara is also another one that's in that, over 50 group that actually looks like, better than most 20-year-olds that are running around right now.
Yeah.
I got cut off a little bit on that, but I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., honestly, moving forward, is probably, I think its last big shakeup tie-in is going to be with Captain America Civil War. Because, I mean, same thing with Winter Soldier and the Hydra thing happened. I think the Sokovia Accords are really going to probably mess a little bit with the whole, registration act type of thing and kind of bring that into the TV show maybe a little bit one way or another. So I think that's where we're going to get our other additional tie-in.
And for those who wanted to know, Ming-Na Wen is 52 years old.
Woo! Yep, told you, over 50.
Wow.
I got
Yeah, that's
54.
pretty good.
She was born in 63. So
Damn, she about in her 40s.
she looks
Maybe
younger
late,
than that.
late
So
30s.
she
Well,
looks-
I say late 30s.
man, I mean, dude, she killing it, man. That she is definitely killing it, and without question, she is definitely killing it. One of the main reasons like to tune into the show every single week is definitely her. Chloe Bennett, she's a sweetheart too. She ain't bad to look at either. Definitely not bad to look at. So